If you're over 60, there's a silent clock ticking inside your body. It doesn't tick loudly, it doesn't give you much warning. But one day, it can strike, and everything changes in seconds. One side of your face goes numb, your arm stops working, your speech slurs. That's the cruel nature of a stroke. It arrives unannounced, robs you of your independence, and leaves a trail of fear in its wake. What if you could protect your brain and circulation with just 60 seconds a day? You don't need a gym or fancy equipment, you don't even need to get on the floor. Because what most people don't realize is this: your best stroke protection might be as simple as a movement you can do while waiting for the kettle to boil. You'll discover 6 powerful micro-movements you can do in under 1 minute each, all backed by science and specifically designed for seniors. Movements that help open arteries, lower blood pressure, improve blood flow to the brain, and keep your body agile and alive. You don't have to memorize them. Just watch, follow along, and listen to the reason why each one works. Let's start with the first movement. It may feel almost too simple, but it could be the difference between being independent or depending on others. Movement number 1, the toe tap pump. This one sounds simple, but it can rescue your brain and heart from one of the most overlooked stroke triggers. After 60, stagnant blood flow in the legs. Here's what most people don't realize. As we age, our calf muscles act less like a second heart and more like forgotten luggage. Blood pools, circulation slows, and when that blood becomes sluggish, especially in the lower body, it can begin to clot. One study from the Journal of Vascular Surgery found that seniors with poor leg circulation were significantly more likely to experience clot-related strokes, and many had no warning signs until it was too late. The solution? You don't need compression socks or a treadmill. You need to reawaken the pump in your lower legs. Here's how. Sit upright in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Now, without lifting your heel, raise your toes off the ground, then lower them back down. Do this at a steady rhythm, about 1 second up, 1 second down. Aim for 30 repetitions per leg. What this does is activate the tibialis anterior and the deep veins behind the shin. These muscles contract gently, pushing blood back toward the heart and helping keep your arteries flexible and clean. Think of it like loosening up a garden hose before the water rushes through. You're opening a pathway, and your heart and brain will thank you. It's so simple, you can do it during a phone call, while watching the news, or waiting at the doctor's office. But here's where it gets powerful. Research from the American Heart Association has shown that movements like these, performed regularly, improve endothelial function. That's the thin lining inside your blood vessels that keeps everything flowing smoothly. When that lining is healthy, it reduces the chances of plaque buildup, high blood pressure spikes, and sudden vascular blockages that lead to strokes. These toe pumps also help prevent nighttime leg cramps, restless legs, and even balance issues by strengthening the often neglected front of the lower leg. It's like upgrading the suspension system on a car that's been rattling for years. If you've ever stood up too quickly and felt dizzy, or if your feet tend to swell by evening, this movement is tailor-made for you. But don't stop here. The next movement might feel a bit awkward at first, but it sends a vital signal to your brain that could cut your stroke risk dramatically. Movement number 2, the shoulder blade. Squeeze. Most seniors think of strokes as purely a heart or brain issue, but what often gets ignored is posture and how collapsed shoulders, forward necks, and stiff upper backs silently raise stroke risk, especially after 60. You've probably noticed it yourself or seen it in others, the gradual hunch that creeps in with age. It starts subtly, a rounded back while reading, slouched shoulders while eating, or craning forward when watching TV. But here's what most people don't realize. That posture restricts your chest cavity, compresses your major arteries, and limits the oxygen supply your brain receives, all while forcing your blood vessels into awkward, high-pressure positions. Research from the American Journal of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation has shown that poor posture is linked to reduced respiratory capacity, higher blood pressure, and even cognitive decline. But there's one small movement that can help undo the damage in under 60 seconds. Here's how to do it. Stand or sit up tall. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Then, slowly squeeze your shoulder blades together as if you're trying to pinch a pencil between them. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat it 10 times. What you're doing is activating the rhomboids and lower trapezius, the muscles that pull your shoulders back and open your chest. When these muscles are strong and engaged, they act like a scaffolding system that lifts your torso, relieves pressure off the spine, and clears the way for blood to flow freely through the subclavian and carotid arteries, two of the most important vessels responsible for brain health. But the benefits go beyond blood flow. In seniors, posture is a major predictor of balance and fall risk. Rounded shoulders shift your center of gravity forward, making you more likely to stumble, lose control, or catch your foot on uneven ground. By retraining your back muscles with this simple squeeze, you're not just protecting your brain from stroke, you're helping prevent the falls that often cause a stroke in the first place. And it feels good too. After just a few reps, many people report a warm, tingling sensation between their shoulder blades as if a tight knot is starting to melt. That's circulation reawakening muscles that haven't been used in years. Do this while brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, or standing in line at the pharmacy. It's invisible, effortless, and powerful. And while this movement reopens the upper body, the next one works deeper, inside the walls of your arteries, where most seniors never think to look. Movement number 3, the heel lift pulse. If you've ever felt unsteady on your feet or noticed your legs getting heavier, weaker, or slower to respond, you're not alone. For seniors over 60, circulation to the lower body naturally begins to decline, and with that decline comes a cascade of problems: slower reflexes, weaker calf muscles, and worst of all, less efficient blood return to the brain. But here's what most people don't realize. The calves aren't just there to help you walk. They're often called the second heart of the body. And for good reason. Your calf muscles act like a powerful pump. Every time they contract, they squeeze the deep veins in your legs, pushing blood upward against gravity back toward your heart and brain. But when these muscles weaken from lack of use, that pump shuts down. Blood pools in the legs, pressure builds, and oxygen delivery to the brain slows dramatically. Over time, this creates the perfect environment for blood clots, dizziness, and yes, even strokes. The good news? You can wake this pump up in just 60 seconds using a simple move called the heel lift pulse. Here's how it works. Stand with your feet hip-width apart. Hold onto the back of a chair, the wall, or your kitchen counter for balance. Now, slowly raise your heels so you're standing on your toes. Hold at the top for 2 seconds, then lower your heels halfway down, but don't touch the floor. Pulse back up. Do this for a full minute, slowly and steadily. You'll feel the burn almost immediately in your calves, but that's a good thing. It means those dormant muscle fibers are firing again. As they engage, they push blood upward, helping reduce pressure in your lower limbs and reviving blood flow back to your heart and head. According to a study in the journal Stroke, patients who performed regular lower leg pumping exercises had significantly better cerebral blood flow and lower stroke recurrence compared to those who remained sedentary. Just think about that. Something as simple as standing on your toes could be the difference between a foggy brain and a sharp one, between a sudden fall and steady, confident steps. But the benefits don't stop there. Heel lift pulses also improve your sense of balance by activating your stabilizing muscles. These include your ankles, your Achilles tendon, and the deeper proprioceptors in your joints that tell your brain where your body is in space. Over time, this can reduce your fall risk, improve posture, and keep your legs feeling energized. You can even sneak this one in while brushing your teeth, doing dishes, or waiting for your coffee. No gym, no equipment, just you, your breath, and your body reclaiming circulation one pulse at a time. Now, we've reawakened the legs and opened the chest. But what about the neck? The most overlooked part of the body when it comes to stroke prevention. That's exactly what the next movement is designed to target. Movement number 4, neck release circles. When most people think about stroke prevention, they focus on the heart, maybe the legs, or even the diet. But they forget one of the most crucial highways that feeds the brain, the arteries in your neck. These slender tubes carry oxygen-rich blood directly from your heart to your brain. But over time, tension, stiffness, and poor posture can compress these arteries. That compression limits flow, and when blood can't reach the brain easily, it increases the risk of what scientists call ischemic events. In everyday language, mini-strokes, sudden dizziness, fainting, memory lapses, and eventually a full-blown stroke. Here's the hidden danger. Many seniors carry this tension without even knowing it. You might feel a slight twinge when turning your head, a cracking sound when looking up, or just a constant dull ache near the base of your skull. These are warning signs that your neck is stiff and your brain may not be getting the steady stream of oxygen it needs. But here's what most people don't realize. Loosening the neck isn't just about reducing stiffness. it can actually help improve the flexibility of the arteries and veins that serve the brain. That's where this 1-minute movement comes in, the neck release circle. Start seated or standing tall. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your spine straight. Slowly drop your chin toward your chest. Let the weight of your head gently stretch the back of your neck. Now, begin to circle your head slowly to the right, bringing your right ear toward your right shoulder, then gently tilt back, then left ear to left shoulder and back down to center. One full circle should take about 15 seconds. Repeat 4 times in one direction, then reverse. The key is not to rush. Let gravity do the work. Breathe deeply as you move. Each circle increases mobility in your cervical spine, improves blood flow to the brainstem, and reduces pressure on the carotid arteries. According to the American Stroke Association, one of the early predictors of stroke risk in older adults is restricted blood flow in the neck and upper spine. And a study from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that just 1 week of daily neck mobility exercises led to significantly improved balance and reduced fall risk in seniors over 65. Why does this matter so much? Because your neck is like a bridge. If it's stiff, everything above it, your memory, your mood, your mental clarity, suffers. And everything below it, your shoulders, your balance, your posture, compensates. That leads to a chain reaction of problems. The simple act of gently rotating your neck each day can interrupt that cycle and restore calm, healthy flow to your brain. You don't need a chiropractor, you don't need special tools, just 1 minute, every morning, or right before bed. Over time, this daily routine can help your brain feel brighter, clearer, and more stable. We've now targeted the legs, the chest, the calves, and the neck. But there's one silent system that affects stroke risk in a sneaky way, your lymphatic system. And most seniors never do anything to help it. That's exactly what the next movement will unlock. Movement number 5, gentle shoulder pumps to activate your lymph flow. You already know about the heart and brain connection. And maybe you've heard of blood pressure or cholesterol as stroke risk factors. But here's what most people don't realize. Your lymphatic system plays a powerful, often ignored role in stroke prevention. Think of your lymphatic system as your body's drainage network. It clears out waste, toxins, and fluid buildup. It keeps inflammation low, and it's completely dependent on movement. There's no built-in pump like your heart. So if you're sedentary, your lymph fluid stagnates. And for seniors, that can spell trouble. When lymph backs up, your tissues swell, your blood vessels feel more pressure, your immune response weakens, and that low-grade inflammation, it quietly damages blood vessels, including the delicate ones in your brain. It's like letting trash pile up in your kitchen. At first, it's just clutter, but over time, it breeds chaos. Studies published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience and Journal of Gerontology suggest that poor lymphatic circulation is linked to increased markers of oxidative stress in the brain. Translation: higher risk for memory loss, stroke, and age-related cognitive decline. Now here's the good news. You can manually help your lymphatic system drain better, and it only takes 60 seconds. Stand or sit tall, let your arms hang loose by your sides. Then gently raise your shoulders toward your ears, hold for a second, then drop them down. Do this 5 times. Now, add a little pump. Imagine bouncing your shoulders up and down in a quick, rhythmic motion. Not aggressively, just enough to create a light pulsing effect. Repeat this shoulder pumping for about 30 seconds while breathing deeply. This simple movement stimulates the lymph nodes in your neck, chest, and underarms, key drainage points that directly affect brain inflammation. You're literally flushing out the toxins that can cause damage to your most vital organ. And here's what makes it even more effective. Combining this with deep breathing. Every time you inhale deeply, you create pressure in the thoracic duct, a major lymph vessel. When paired with movement, it acts like a vacuum, pulling the waste fluid down and out of your head and neck area. Most seniors think lymph drainage is something you need a massage therapist for, but it's not. Your body is equipped to do it naturally. It just needs a nudge, and this movement gives it that gentle nudge every day. After just a few days, many people notice their brain fog clears a bit, their face feels less puffy, their sleep improves, and their balance gets better. That's no coincidence. When your lymphatic system is flowing, your whole body, especially your brain, works better. Now we've boosted circulation, balance, arterial flow, and lymphatic drainage. But there's one final movement that brings all of these together, a move so simple, yet so powerful, it's used in stroke rehab centers around the world. Movement number 6, brain cross taps, the 1-minute stroke shield for your mind and body. You've heard the phrase, use it or lose it. But what if I told you that using your hands and feet in a specific way could help protect your brain from one of the most devastating events of aging, a stroke? This final movement may look simple, even silly, but it's backed by powerful neurological science, and it's used in stroke recovery programs around the world to rewire the brain, improve balance, and enhance blood flow to areas that keep you thinking clearly and walking confidently. It's called a brain cross tap, and here's how it works. Stand or sit comfortably. Lift your right hand and tap your left knee, then lift your left hand and tap your right knee. Keep alternating back and forth for 60 seconds. Move slowly and deliberately, even if it feels awkward at first. If you want to boost the challenge, march your legs as you tap. That's it, 1 minute. But inside your brain, something extraordinary happens. Each time you cross your body's midline, that invisible line down your center, you activate both hemispheres of your brain. You create new neural connections between your left and right brain, and more importantly, you stimulate areas responsible for coordination, memory, balance, and reflexes. This movement increases electrical activity in your motor cortex, cerebellum, and prefrontal cortex. These regions help you avoid falls, process speech, make decisions, and even regulate blood flow. When they're active and healthy, your stroke risk drops. But when they go quiet, from lack of movement or age-related decline, the risk rises sharply. Here's what most seniors don't realize. Stroke isn't just about clots or blood pressure, it's also about neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and reroute around damage. And the best time to build that neuroplasticity is before a stroke happens. In a study published in the Neurorehabilitation and Neural Repair Journal, older adults who performed daily cross-body exercises showed significant improvements in balance, gait, and cognitive flexibility in just 4 weeks. They also had lower blood pressure variability, a key factor in stroke prevention. It's like building a backup generator for your brain. If one part fails, another is ready to take over, and there's a powerful emotional benefit too. This movement helps reconnect you to your body. Many seniors feel disconnected, like their limbs aren't responding the way they used to, but with each cross tap, you rebuild those pathways. You remind your body that you're still in control. You might even feel a little sharper afterward. Many report clearer thinking, better focus, and a strange but welcome calm. That's not just placebo, it's the nervous system rebalancing itself in real time. So as you reach the end of this stroke prevention routine, remember this. You don't need expensive equipment, a gym membership, or complicated routines. You just need consistency, intention, and a willingness to move, even for 60 seconds. Each of these 6 movements targets a different stroke risk factor, and when combined, they form a complete, science-backed defense system. You've given your arteries room to breathe, you've improved your circulation, you've balanced your body, you've flushed toxins, and now you've lit up the brain itself. But if you're wondering what kind of results to expect in 7, 14, or 30 days, and why some people give up too soon, stay tuned. By now you might be wondering, if these movements are so simple, what kind of results can you actually expect? Let's start with the first 7 days. In just 1 week of doing these 6 one-minute movements daily, many seniors report feeling a difference, not in something dramatic, but in something surprisingly subtle. Less morning stiffness, easier breathing, a small boost in energy when getting up from a chair. These are the early signs that your blood flow is improving and your vessels are beginning to open up again. You're gently waking up muscles that have been sleeping for years. You're introducing circulation to parts of your body that have been starved for oxygen. It's like turning on a faucet that's been rusty. At first the water trickles, but keep going and it begins to flow. By day 14, things get interesting. That's when the neuromuscular system, the connection between your nerves and your muscles, begins to rewire itself more permanently. Movements feel more natural, your posture improves without trying, you may even notice your thinking feels a little clearer, your steps more confident. That's no coincidence. Studies from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy show that consistency in basic daily movement improves proprioception, your body's awareness in space, which is a key factor in fall prevention. But here's what most seniors don't realize. The real transformation begins around day 30. And this is where many people fall off, too early to feel dramatic change, too late to still feel novelty. This is the danger zone for giving up. Why? Because modern brains are wired for quick results. And when your reflection doesn't suddenly look younger or your blood pressure isn't magically perfect, it's easy to think, this isn't working. But inside your arteries, something remarkable is happening. You're retraining your endothelial lining, the delicate inner layer of your blood vessels, to expand and contract like it did in your 40s. You're building what researchers call vascular resilience, the ability of your circulatory system to respond quickly to stress and pressure changes. This is the biological opposite of stroke risk. One study published by the American Heart Association found that low-intensity, short-duration daily movements improved flow-mediated dilation, a key predictor of stroke risk, by up to 27% in adults over 60 after just 30 days. That's without pills, surgery, or hour-long workouts. Just consistent micro-movements. So how do you avoid the failure trap? Make the habit as automatic as brushing your teeth. Don't overthink it. Don't aim for perfection. Just aim for consistency. Tie the movement to something you're already doing, maybe while your coffee brews or right after brushing your teeth. Track how you feel, not just how you perform. Did you sleep better? Feel less dizzy? Move more smoothly through the kitchen? These small victories are proof that your brain and blood vessels are adapting. Because at the end of the day, stroke prevention isn't about avoiding death. It's about protecting life, the kind of life where you can walk to the mailbox, cook your own meals, laugh at a joke, and remember the punchline. It's about independence, dignity, confidence. With just 6 one-minute movements a day, that life is no longer out of reach. If this helped, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. 1 minute a day could save a life. If you're feeling more hopeful after watching this, comment 1 so we know we're reaching the right people. And if today's your day 1, type start. Don't wait until it's too late. Start today. Your future self will thank you.